Howdy y'all, it's the Right Lane Cowboy here with another Milepost Musing in Milepost 255 westbound on 280. No, I-80, my bad. Anyway, thought I'd share with you my weekend. I had a pretty interesting weekend. I don't usually get a 34-hour reset out here on the road. You know, I try to keep running on recap like I've said in the past, so I don't have to stop and waste time. But since I was over in St. Louis, I figured, what the hell, just park the truck and at the sister-in-law's house and hang out with her family for a while. I haven't seen her in a couple of years, a few years I think, so I thought, what the heck. So anyway, I hung out with her. We went to a Renaissance fair. I've never been, but that was a different experience. Got to see a full contact reenactment of a real reenactment of a joust. Dude got hit right he held his arm up with the shield on it, got hit right in that shield and stripped him off that daggum horse. Like, he had a rope tied around his waist, and he came to the end of the rope. It just boom, and he was gone. He's on the ground. Looked like it hurt, but it was cool. It was kind of put into perspective just how painful and real and dangerous a joust can be. There's so much construction going on right now. Anyway, it'll be nice when it's all over. Just get down the road without slowing down, speeding up. But anyway, yeah, the joust was, or the Renaissance Fair was really cool. Got to see a lot of different people. You know, the things that they sell in them and the shows. I saw a few different shows, acting and just performances like throwing flames and axe throwing and spear throwing. Kids got to go to a petting zoo. See a kangaroo, eagle, a bunch of owls, snakes. Oh God, it just makes me shiver anyway. I hate snakes. I don't like them. They can move and they don't have legs. It ain't natural. It ain't right. Anyway, I don't like those. So anyway, I digress. But the Renaissance Fair as a whole was really cool. It wasn't out in the field. It was up in the hilly area of western St. Louis. Actually, it was in Wentzville, Missouri, which is just west of St. Louis on 70. So it was really cool because the whole thing is covered with tree canopies. Giant tree canopy. Well, I shouldn't say giant, average sized trees, but it was all tree canopy. There were hardly any spaces in between the trees, but there was plenty of room to walk. There was no underbrush underneath there, and they kept it good. It was the trails and everything were wide, 15, 20 feet wide trails with wood chip down on the dirt, so it was kind of dusty and it was comfortable to walk on. But it got me tired. Good God, it wore me out. I slept like a freaking rock that night. Just laid there. I remember closing my eyes and the alarm clock went off. Good God, did I sleep all night? Oh, and by the way, if you go to a Renaissance Fair, make sure you eat first because the food is outrageously priced. Ridiculously priced. I got a little cup, about that big around, about that tall, of what was it? Blue Moon beer, $6. That kind of ate my lunch right there, man. $6 for a half a glass of beer. So, but Blue Moon's worth it. I like Blue Moon. It's good. It's good beer. Me and Sis had a Blue Moon and a bratwurst right there in the Renaissance Fair. So, I really wish my wife, my wife would have been up there. She and I are both people watchers. Love watching people. I think it's great fun, good pastime. You just sit, and watch people, and talk about what we saw for a half hour or so. And there was some prime pickings, let me tell you. It was wow, I saw, probably more than 60 or 70% of everybody had these clips that went on their ears and make them look like pointy elf ears. There was like 2 or 3 kings in there, a couple of queens in there, dressed up like medieval queens and kings of England, Kind of blew my mind a little bit how much money all of that stuff is worth. One guy that met us there, he got boots that went nearly up to his knees. He got a kilt, some sort of specialized kilt. I don't know what specialized means, but that's what he said. It was specialized. He got, I think it was a sword and a couple other accessories and a leather vest, I think it was, with whatever. And it was all, after he spent everything, it was upwards of $800. $800 friggin' dollars for an outfit that you're going to wear, once or twice, maybe 3 times in a year. But to each their own. I can name 5 things right now that are $800 would be better spent on. So, but that was kind of cool, the Renaissance Fair. Never been to one. First time there. First time I ever saw somebody get jabbed in a freaking shield with a 10-foot pole. So next time I go out there and spend a couple of days with the sister-in-law, I'm hoping that that's going to be open again so we can go and do it again. So that or the NHRA, because her son, my nephew went to the NHRA. And at first I was questioning, should I have gone to the races? It would have been 6 to 1, half dozen the other. I enjoyed the hell out of myself hanging out with my sister-in-law, her kids, and her extended family. Got to meet some of her, her real good friends that she's known for 10 or 15 years, close to 20 years now. That was this weekend, and now I'm going. And since then, since my last video, I've gone all the way. I spent a week in Cheyenne doing that Walmart account, and then I went over to Oregon. Did I go to Oregon? See how it all runs together? You do 5,000 miles and you forget where the heck you've been. I think I went out west. I did. I went out west, and then I went out all the way to the other side of Iowa, Davenport. That's where I went, Davenport. Oh, and I stopped by the. If you're ever across I-80 and you you come across the, I think it's Walcott, Iowa. It's the world's largest truck stop. It's the I-80. Iowa 80 truck stop is what it's called. That's right. It's got a big truck museum. It's got a huge restaurant in it. It's got 5 or 6 fast food joints in there. It's got a huge truck accessory shop in there. I cannot go in there with money in my pocket because I'll have no money in my pocket when I come out of there. See how that works? So I try to stay out of there. But anyway, I got what's up? Way up top, I can't see it. I got my right lane truck driver, my right lane cowboy sticker I'm going to put on the outside of my door out here. It's going to be really cool. It's good night. That is one bright sun. Here we go. It's going to go outside of my door, and it's custom made in the font that I chose, and it's about 16 inches long, 2 inches tall. I'll have to take a picture of it and put it on here. If I ever figure out how to put pictures and videos on these videos, maybe somebody down there in the comment section can tell me exactly how I do that. I still can't figure it out, Pretty good with tech, but I'm pretty slow learning when it comes to tech. Anyway, so I've been all the way out there and then back across here now, so I'm heading out to Reno, Nevada. Another dangerous place for me to be. Because they got the Peels, what's it called? The Peel's Sporting Goods. Makes Cabela's look like a little bitty store. Anyway, so anyway, you got to do a Renaissance fair if one comes up. Just go to it. You don't have to dress up. I was in a baseball cap. I was in a real flamboyant Aztec looking, not flamboyant, bad word. Not that does not describe me. But we'll call it for this sake. It was a really flamboyant Aztec looking shirt. Country and Western style shirt. Totally out, my boots on and jeans. Completely out of place. I texted my wife. I said, I'm in a Renaissance fair and I am completely out of place. But it was cool because there's a lot of other people out there that were just in regular clothing. So yeah, go to a Renaissance fair and kick it up. You will absolutely love it. So, Jake break. All right, I'm gonna have to slow my roll here for a minute. Talk about something that's near and dear to my heart and important, and probably going to be for a lot of people a necessary means of income. As you know, I drive truck, right? And without getting into politics, we can all see the foreseeable future of this country is going to be a bumpy road at the bare minimum. I think it's important now to possibly get into something that's going to be a good wage earner, easy to learn, but it's going to be a sacrifice. And what I'm talking about is driving truck, getting a CDL and getting out on the road and driving truck. There's going to be a need for truck drivers, I know that, because when things go south, there's always a need for truck drivers to help keep everything moving, economy-wise. Like when COVID hit and everybody started buying up toilet paper because, for whatever ridiculous reason, well, we had massive toilet paper production ramped up, so therefore we got toilet paper transportation ramped up. I must have hauled 220 loads of toilet paper and paper towels and just paper product, down from coast to coast, really, all over the place. From Oregon to LA, and from LA all the way out to damn near New York. But now's the time to do it. Now's the time to get in, get your CDL and get out there and learn how to drive a truck. They're not that hard, really. I mean, an F-150 with the boat on a trailer is a hell of a lot harder to drive, way more difficult to drive than this big old 18-wheeler. 18-wheelers are big, dumb animals on the road. Just big, slow, easy to maneuver vehicles. But they pay, even your bottom dollar companies for beginner drivers are still paying $65,000 a year. Once you get, a year and a half under your belt, you can go to a better paying company that'll get you up to $90,000, $95,000 a year pretty daggone quick. But there's going to be a need for it. You don't have to sell your house. You don't have to move. You don't have to relocate whatsoever. You just start driving truck. There's always a place to park your truck. There's always a way to get to the house when you need to. I mean, I got relatives in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different states. Counting my own home. My own family in the state that I live in. It doesn't matter where I'm at. All I got to do is tell dispatcher, hey, I got to get to that state within the next week and a half. And boom, I'm in the state within the next week and a half. right now I'm going to go out to the West Coast and see Mom and Dad, or I'm going to try anyway. I haven't said anything to the dispatcher, but I'll be in Reno tomorrow night, so what the heck? I'm there. All I got to do is jump over the hill, grab a load in Sacramento or something, and go out and see them. And my next one out there, it's the Sacramento area, I think. Well, not Sacramento. I forget the little town. Anyway, somewhere there in the San Joaquin, Sacramento valleys, where they meet. I'm going to go out and see my brother. And like I say, get a load. I get paid to do it. Get paid to grab a load and head on out and see relatives. And I get to see the country. If we're being honest, I see the road in front of me and the road behind me, and everything beside me. I don't really gawk out there and look at these mountains, although they're beautiful and everything, and I get to see stuff. I might glance out there once in a while, but no, it's the road in front of me. I'm trying to keep the lane control. I'm trying to keep, like, today's a great day. Beautiful day to drive because there's hardly anybody. The guy in front of me, probably 35, 40 seconds in front of me. The guy behind me, there's one guy behind me, and he's doing my speed. Perfect day to be on the road. So, and it's like this in 11 western states. It's like this like 90% of the time, unless you get into the bigger cities, obviously. You get into the city, you drop your load, you pick up another load, you get on out and get on down the road. We're going to need truck drivers on the road more and more. We're going to need more and more experience on the road. It's going to pay more. There's some people in my family that says, stop telling people about this, your pay will go down. No, it won't. It only goes up. It just goes up because profit sharing goes up. The more drivers that drive, the more profit the company makes, the more profit sharing you get. So the more the more drivers we get, the more contracts we get. So and that's another thing. You want to get with a company that is not, we got to have our brokered companies, but if you get with the company that's contract services, when everybody else is going broke, when everybody else is going on strike and everything, you're still rolling because you have contracts. This company has contracts with a couple of hundred different companies, and we got more than 5,000 trucks just going all the time, never stops. So I don't have any downtime or sitting time or anything like that unless I find a Renaissance fair over there where my sister lives, and I was like, okay, 34-hour reset, here we come, But I think it's, if you're in an industry that might be affected by, an economy that, if inflation that reaches 10%, an economy that goes right off the deep end because of it, you're still going to need truck drivers because people are still going to go out to dinner. They're still going to Walmart. They're still doing stuff like, buying clothes and stuff like that. So we're always going to need truck drivers. And for some reason, when the economy takes a dive, truck driving gets ramped up, gets boosted. So I think it would behoove you to go out there and get, or just go online and research it, see what you can do. There's Driver Pulse is an app that you can get on your phone and put your information on, and that puts, once you get your CDL and maybe a little experience, that puts it. That's an application that goes to all shippers and receivers and companies that have, or trucking, gosh dang it, what am I trying to say? Carrier companies that are affiliated with Driver Pulse would get your application. It's very, very cool to how you can do just one application and it goes to 75, 80, or 100 companies. The only drawback to that is you'll get phone calls like crazy. But they wear off after a while once you get established and you start telling them, nope, I already got a job or whatever. You can go on there and somehow pause it or something like that, so you don't. But Driver Pulse is a good place to go to put your information out there once you get your CDL. So, oh, and by the way, CDLs are in order to get your CDL, whatever state you're in, look into the state to get a grant to help pay for the CDLs, because a lot of them are expensive. You know, you can go like where I got mine in Colorado. It was like, I think it was like a little over $3,000 for Class A, and then it was $300 for the taking the test. So you want to make sure that when you take the test, you hit it the first time, because the moment you do something wrong, if you do an air bleed down wrong, or if you forget to put your seatbelt on before your truck moves, instant fail, instant loss of $300, non-refundable. Got to take it again, another $300. So that's in Colorado. It might have gone up, might have gone down. Hell, that was I forgot, 2011 when I got my Class A. But I failed it because I screwed up on my bleed down test, and I had to take it again. So $600 later, I'm finally, I'm going, what the hell what am I going to do here? So I decided to take a class, and that helped me. That helped me a lot, because I was blessed enough to get a guy that knows how to back a truck, and he taught me how to back a truck. And I've taken all of that information and passed it on to hundreds of drivers at truck stops. So anyway, if you're get an inkling to change your job or change your industry or whatever, get into a different industry, it's going to pay some good money, and you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Commercial driver's license is where it's at. Highly recommend it. It's a big sacrifice. If you have kids, you can get with the company that lets you take a kid, one kid with you on the truck at a time. You got to be an authorized driver in the United States of America to be able to have somebody or authorized rider to be on the truck. Don't get caught with an unauthorized rider on the truck. They'll shut you down until you get that person a ride, and you lose money. So anyway, we're going to get back up to first gear. I had to do the Jake brake there to slow my roll and tell you about something that I had been thinking about for a few days. I think it's possible. I'm trying to get my sister-in-law to drive truck. I think she'd be an amazing truck driver. She can ride a bike like there's no tomorrow, so I think she can drive a truck too. Anyway, let's go to gas on it, driver. Geez, okay, calm down, bud. Good God, gassing on it. It's called cruise control. Wow. Anyway, I want to talk about something that's weighing kind of heavy on my mind, and I'm not going to say all this stuff to boost me up or anything like that. I think I'm a pretty good guy. I think I do, what I can to be decent to people, to be cordial, to be, to be a man. You know what I mean? To my wife. To be somebody who she can look up to, somebody she can look at, and be just as much in love today as she was yesterday, and maybe a little bit more tomorrow. And it's not easy to do, but it's also not hard to do. I don't treat her like a sex toy. I don't treat her like an object. I don't go up and I grew up seeing this, goose her in the butt or anything like that. I hate that. It's ridiculous. Objectifies them and dehumanizes them. It's just ridiculous. That's not even a line, you ding dong. That's a crack. So I got a family member and a friend that's going through this. Both ladies that their man in their life is treating them horrible. Absolutely horribly. And I don't understand how a man can look at a woman and go, you know what, I'm going to use that thing right there for sex and that's it. And then treat them, lie to them, basically lie through their teeth to them and tell them all the right things to make them pull down their walls and make them feel good and all that kind of stuff. And then blatantly make themselves look stupid by, meeting up, having sex, and then being gone, But I grew up here and being called a wham bam thank you ma'am. It just drives me freaking nuts. I don't understand that crap. So somebody please comment and tell me what the hell has gone wrong with men these days. Maybe it's not these days. Maybe it's always been this way and I'm just noticing it and hearing about it. I don't know. But something's got to be done, said or whatever to get this stuff done. What's a woman supposed to do? Kick the jackass to the side, to the curb, and get on with their life? I mean, even after 20 years? I don't get that. So maybe somebody can clue me in onto why men do this. Why men think they're entitled to, absolute freedom from chores, while the woman and the rest of the family are doing dishes, sweeping the floor, mowing the lawn, fixing the frickin' plumbing after the shower head breaks or something like that. I don't know. What about, what's that called? Chivalry. Where the hell did chivalry come? I mean, isn't it still alive? Why did that seatbelt fall down? Oh, because it fell down. That's why. I try to help out every way I can when I get to the house. I've been out on the road for 30 days, busted my ass. And sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I'm not busting my ass. I'm driving a truck. I'm fatiguing myself. I know that. 11 hours in a driver's seat makes a guy tired. Yesterday I did 552 miles. Today I'll do a little over 600 miles. God willing, if everything goes right. And then tomorrow I'm going to do 636 miles on into my receiver. Gotta love the construction. Gotta squeeze down to half a lane. Good night. But when I get to the house, I help out. Love on my wife, love on my kids, love on my goat. Gotta love on Azul. One of these times I'll be able to get my goat picture up here, or my goat picture? That's weird. I'll get a picture of my goat up here so you can see it. This thing's about that tall, about that big. Actually, it's not. It's about a little bit bigger than that. It's about the size of a small dog. Nigerian pygmy goat. The cutest little freaking thing you ever saw in my life, in my life anyway. I bent down to give it a, it'll jump up on you, give a little hug or what that. Grabbed onto my straw hat. Like, screw you, buddy. I want that snack on your head. Whatever. Love the goaty goats. Love my chickens too. Got Brahma chickens. So, anyway, I should say my wife has Brahma chickens, but I help to care. I try to help out with them when I get home. And then there it is. Sorry, looking for my fuel stop. Cool, way station's closed. But anyway, I try to love on everybody and everything and help out as much as I can when I get home, because when I go back on the road, I'm not going to have that time with them. So those relatives, I mean, granted they live 45 miles apart, but in 15 years, for God's sake, or no, 7 years. I think it's 7 years they've known each other. The dude has only been over to the woman's house 7 times. Really? Once a year? You can't find time to jump in the truck and run over to your woman's house and say, hey, spend a day or two with her? Good God. What the hell is she supposed to do? I mean, she gets in her car and runs over to his house often. Very, very often. Does not make any damn sense to me. If you cherish somebody, if you love somebody, you should go out of your way to show, to create action, so your actions say that you cherish them and say that you love them. There's no damn reason for it. Go away, you. So anyway, I just think something maybe one of y'all, why is that zoomed in? There we go. Maybe something one of y'all could explain to me in the comments as to why men do this. I sure would like to know. Do I go this way? There we go. That little bitty car went in the wrong exit, or the wrong entrance. I am very interested as to why men do this, and maybe somebody could help me to help my relative to understand it too, because she can't. Rightfully so. One shouldn't be made to have to understand something that's unexplainable. And because I couldn't understand it, well, sorry for the pause, I'm coming into a fuel island. Because I couldn't understand it and couldn't explain it, I go right to the ditcher, or ditch them, kick them to the curb. It's not worth it, man. Time is a ticking. I told a friend of mine who had a woman that oh my God, this girl went batshit crazy. Excuse the French. Sorry about that. She went a little bit nuts. Not a little bit. She went plumb nuts. And I told him, I said, dude, you got a business you got to focus on. If you're going to make this work, you don't need all of this stuff nagging you in the back. Stop. You know, part ways and get on with your life. You don't need to be, you know, weighed down with all this nonsensical BS and trying to figure out relationships. You guys see that sucker? Oh, it's not that. It's my tail. Okay. So anyway, yeah, say something for me. Get down there in the comments and give me some pointers. I'll listen to you. But I got to get out and I got to fuel my truck because this sucker is thirsty. Well, not really. It's a half a tank. No, it's a quarter tank. I only got 80 gallons on, so I got to get another 80 gallons on. So anyway, we will talk at you later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk at you later. Have a good one. Bye.